Everyone tells you YouTube automation is passive income, easy AI videos, and quick cash. But here is what they do not tell you. Because in the last 4 years, I've built multiple 5- and 6-figure faceless YouTube automation channels. But I also lost tens of thousands of dollars in monthly income overnight, together with channels getting deleted or demonetized. And I've also seen this happen to friends and the clients that I helped starting channels too in the last 3 years. And apart from the people that did make a profitable faceless channels, I've also seen hundreds of people actually fail with YouTube automation. In this video, I'm gonna break down the downsides of faceless YouTubes. I'm gonna break down the myths and tell you why it is not as easy as it seems anymore. But I'm also going to tell you why it's still worth doing it if you are the right type of person. So we'll also talk about the traits of people who actually win with YouTube automation and the one upside that no one is taking advantage of yet. So number one, it's not actually as cheap to start YouTube automation as they make believe you. Even with a lot of AI tools being around now to help you make more for cheap and not needing the manpower that you usually would hire, it's still, the cost of YouTube automation can still run up. So mainly the thing that you're going to be paying for is your scripts, your voiceovers, your video editing, your thumbnails, and maybe some other like software tools to help you find keywords in SEO or like outlier channels, for example. But even though you can make these AI channels nowadays where like ChatGPT and 11 Labs cost like $50, $60 a month, these fully AI generated channels usually do not work very well, or they do not work very well for a long time. And the reason is because the barrier of entry for these is so low. Hundreds of people can flood markets when it shows that an AI generated market is performing very well. And especially with YouTube automation becoming more popular, AI becoming more popular, there's a lot of people who have tools or software that can make like hundreds of videos a day of these AI slop kind of channels and basically compete you out of the market completely. Now, the reason why this is important is because the way that you can basically put your barrier of entry higher in a market is by making either better scripts, better videos, better thumbnails, etc. So basically better videos in its totality. The way I would say you start by doing this is by doing better video editing. So instead of having just like an AI still image that you generated or an AI moving image that you generated, you upgrade that from the sort of like cheap AI tools to actually proper video editing. And you're gonna hire someone to do that video editing for you. Usually if you have like a 10, 12 minute video, one video is gonna cost you like $30, $25, $30 on like the bare minimum requirements. And if you post, let's say 15 videos, if you do like 10 videos of this, it's going to be like $300 to $500 already a month for one channel to test. So it can go really quickly from like cheap AI slop channels that barely cost you nothing but time to higher, like more expensive channel tests that you will need manpower for to hire. Now, of course, I tell everyone that starts with this, do you need to do everything yourself? Do you not have a high budget to test videos? Or do you have like, let's say $500 to $1,000 a month that you can invest into this before you start making money back? Because you will probably need something like that. So even though everything became a lot easier and cheaper since the rise of AI, like earlier in 2025, the cost of this can still run up high. And another thing added to that is that with YouTube automation, you usually need a few weeks or months into like doing this before you start seeing money back, because you need to like find your niche, you need to get your videos up, you need to get momentum, you need to get into the YouTube partner program. And then also once you're in the program, YouTube pays you out 1 month after you make your actual videos. So if I have let's say made $10,000 this month in October from my AdSense, they're gonna pay me out at the end of November for what I made. So the actual making money with YouTube automation kind of lags behind a lot of the actual numbers coming in. So you have to calculate this in with like your spendings and your investing in team and video editing. So thing to remember here is that you are gonna either pay with your time or your money or both, depending on how much time you have, if you maybe still work a 9-to-5 job, or if you have a lot of money or little money to invest into starting YouTube automation. Again, you can make AI channels work and that will be very cheap, but will require more time unless you outsource it. But from what I have seen, this whole like AI slop stuff is getting a bit saturated and harder to enter. So you will probably need an editor to help you make videos, which is going to cost you a little bit of money. Now, the second thing with YouTube automation that is always preached is that it's sort of like evergreen and long form, that once it's up and it keeps running forever, and that your income is very stable and grows over time. Now, this can be true, but in a lot of cases that I've went through myself, that my friends or my clients went through, this is not very true in a lot of cases. So first of all, your views and your revenue that you make from your channel a month can greatly fluctuate based on the seasonality of your channel, of your niche, and of your competition. And another thing is that your channel can get strikes, you can get demonetized, your channel can get deleted. And like this, it happened to myself actually twice with like 5+ channels. Once your channel gets striked or deleted, you can literally lose your whole portfolio overnight. So once it happened to me like 2.5 years ago, I was just about to go back to Bali from living in Europe for a while. I went for a swim, like swimming laps, and I got to the changing room. I want to look on my YouTube and my channel is not loading. So I'm like, oh, maybe the Wi-Fi is better. I didn't have 3G, 4G. So I leave it be. I get dressed. I go to the supermarket, pick up some food. Channel's still not loading. And that is where I started to get a bit worried, because usually on your phone, if the channel is not loading, it means your channel is gone. So once I got home, I checked my computer and yes, my channel did get deleted. I checked my email and some other person gave one of my channels 70 strikes in a row, claiming that I stole their content while we were both literally doing some sort of like a shorts channel about Joe Rogan. So it was not his content either. But even though he gave me these illegal strikes and literally 5 or 6 of my channels got instantly deleting, erasing around $10,000 to $15,000 in AdSense revenue a month I was making from that back then, there is not much you can do once it's deleted. The YouTube copyright system is pretty like crooked, and it's like 2 separate entities. So I had to contact this copyright department in the US who can help you like check if the copyright strikes they gave me were legit or not. But long story short, it took me 1 or 2 months of talking to them every day. Nothing happened. And then after 8 or 9 months, I finally got my channels back, but I lost momentum on all of them, of course, because after 8 or 9 months, you will have to do something new in that meantime, right? So basically what it comes down to, yes, YouTube automation can work very well. It can be very evergreen. You can build a very evergreen asset that works for you, but there's a lot of nuances and very unfortunate situations that can happen. You are still basically at the mercy of the YouTube platform. Sometimes you get strikes, sometimes your channel gets deleted without proper reasoning or without them being like, hey, this is the reason, you have a few days to fix it or you will be gone. No, they can just delete it overnight and make you lose all your assets that you've built up over the past few months or years. So just like any other side hustle that you can do, like Facebook ads, dropshipping, Shopify, like all that stuff, Amazon maybe, with these like higher risk business models, unfortunately, you are at the mercy of them. And if you do something that doesn't sit well with them or gray area stuff, they can delete you and throw you out of their programs without an excuse. And then you have no clients, no email list, nothing to basically pick yourself back up. So yeah, when things go bad, it can go really bad really quick. And this can be very mentally taxing if you have to start fresh from zero again, as if you're like super new into this business model. So this comes back at point number 3, you do not own the platform. So I mentioned it in point number 2 already, but you are at the mercy of these platforms. You do not own the audience. So if you have a channel and they watch your channel, you do not have their email address, their phone number, like unless you take them off platform and you collect it somewhere there, you cannot really do anything with the views that you are getting. So if YouTube decides to demonetize you or delete your channel, you literally lose your whole channel. So when you build a YouTube automation channel, keep that in mind. You do not own that audience and YouTube can kick you out if you want. So that is also a reason why it's advisable to build an email list off platform, maybe sell a digital product off platform and redirect your YouTube viewers to something that you do outside of the platform, so that if you get demonetized, you can still monetize your audience, or if you get deleted, you can still make money from the views that you got or the videos that you built over the last months or years. Now, harsh truth number 4 is that not everyone is wired for a YouTube automation or a side hustle in general. A lot of people love the idea of running a side hustle next to your job, making 3K, 5K, 10K a month. But when it comes to doing the actual work, people very quickly lose their motivation, have no discipline, no habits, and never even get started and just procrastinate. So I've been running my own business for like 6-7 years now, but I've also been helping hundreds of other people through my paid community, free community, through my Facebook groups, to my one-on-one coaching plan. And you would be surprised how many people I've met that think they are going to do big things, that say that they want to do big things and have built this like massive channel that is so much money. But then when it comes to actually doing the work, doing the niche research, building the videos, hiring the team, testing channels, they literally post like one video in a month or 2 videos in a month and it doesn't work, and then they quit and then they move on to the next one. There's a big difference between wanting to make these things work and actually making them work. And unfortunately, a lot of people watch like, let's say, TikToks and Reels, and they I can also show a quick reel where I did like 10K a month with a channel and make you believe that that's something that you can build for yourself in 1 or 2 months very quickly and easily. But the unfortunate truth is that it's not as easy as people make you believe it is online. And you have to be very realistic with doing something like this and understand that you're gonna need 6 to 12 months, and you're gonna need to put 1 or 2 hours apart every single day to work on it, to understand it, to see what's out there, to understand what works, what doesn't work, and to put actually work in building channels, testing niches, building videos, understanding what makes people click on a video, titles, thumbnails, understanding what makes people stick watching a video in terms of the view duration, and then also understand what niches are out there and which markets you can get into. There's a lot that comes to YouTube automation, but the potential of it can be very high, but you're gonna need a lot of time to understand the nuances of the business and how it actually works. If you think that you can start this and get some cookie cutter blueprint and that's gonna work for everyone, then you are very wrong. You will need to be your own boss, do your own research, test your own channels, and see what's gonna stick and it's not gonna stick. And then also, once you test something and it's gonna fail, you need the motivation and discipline to actually keep on doing it until you find something that works. And again, I've worked with hundreds of people. A lot of people make big claims, but once it gets to doing the actual work, once they start one channel and shit hits the fan and it doesn't work, they quit, they give up, and they blame the business model that it doesn't work. But yeah, these are the typical like shiny object syndrome kind of people who test one thing for a little bit, doesn't work, they move to the next, and they reset their learning curve. And this is going to make it a lot harder, more difficult, and longer before reaching success in any business model. So why is it still worth doing YouTube automation after I have mentioned these 3, 4, 5 points that maybe aren't as it seems from the outside? Now, the first thing I want to tell you, and this is not even because I do YouTube automation myself, I've done e-commerce dropshipping myself too. I truly believe that YouTube automation is the best side hustle that you can run next to your 9-to-5 job if you want to start building your own business, making income on the side when you're still working your job. And the reason for that is because with YouTube automation, you can make these videos and channels, and once they are posted, they are up on your YouTube channel. And if you follow the rules, the risk of you getting demonetized is relatively low. And because of this, you can slowly but surely build 10 videos a month while you're still working your job and slowly build up your channel's backlog, your views, your momentum, and get it monetized and grow it on the side while not needing like 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day in research, in managing, in all that stuff. Once you understand the basics and you did your research into that, it will cost you 1, max 2 hours to make a video every single day if you do it yourself. And like I said at the start, you can even hire someone to make your video edits for you. So I still truly believe that if you have $500 to $1,000 a month and 1 or 2 hours a day, you can make this into a successful 3, 5, or even 10K a month side hustle while still working your job. So in combination of not having to risk it all, quitting your job, going all in on some business, you can build this without too much risk, without too much of a money and time investment while you're still working your job and keeping your responsibility in that way. Another reason why I think YouTube automation is the best business model out there, honestly, based on what I just said, is because it's YouTube. It's owned, like it's YouTube, it's Google, it's something that will be here forever, or like at least for the coming 10, 20 years to come. It's not something that's like a little bit of a trend or a hype that's gonna fade away again, and that's gonna like make you lose your sort of like asset or income overnight. It's the biggest search engine in the world. It's been around for so many years. And honestly, I don't believe that it's going anywhere anytime soon. So with that in mind, you are building a long form video asset on a platform that's very legit and that's been around for very long. Having said that, the long form video asset, YouTube pays you very well. If you have 10-minute plus videos, your RPM, so what you earn per 1,000 views, can be $5 to $10 easily depending on your niche. So you don't need millions of views to actually make a good income. Last month, I started a new channel. The RPM of the channel is $9 to $10. So even if I get 100,000 views, I already make over $1,000 from this channel. This channel is now making me between $200 and $400 a day. And that literally happened within 2-3 months of starting it. So yes, you can still find these gaps in the market and build something really big, really quick, basically. And that is actually, again, a new point based on this. YouTube is so big. There's so many sub-niches, sub-markets, sub-interests that you can start in. And that's also one of the things that I love to do with new clients of mine. Look at their own personal interests and hobbies and things that they like to read about or watch about. And that way you can maybe find markets based on your own interests that isn't too saturated yet. Like, for example, I love surfing. I love living in Bali, like the digital nomad lifestyle kind of idea. Maybe you can find niches and channels that you can make about these hobbies that you even like, where it's not even like a job, but it's more like a hobby or something that you're interested in doing research for, making scripts or videos about. And that adds a fun part to running a side hustle too. I think it's not just about the money, it's something that you actually enjoy doing too. Now, these things you gotta like keep separate when your goal is to just make money with a side hustle. I know that, but still it can be more pleasant and enjoyable if you actually do like what you're researching and talking about or making like a business about. Now, one last reason why I think YouTube automation is still very smart and profitable to get into is that if you build a branded channel in a specific niche market, where let's say like the surfing example, right? You can build that channel and those viewers and you can redirect that traffic to your digital products about surfing. You can do brand collaborations even if you are not monetized in the AdSense program. You can send them to your email list and build an email list from the traffic you are generating. And this is relatively, if you have a good channel, it's very cheap to get a high amount of viewers watching your channel that you can then redirect to external sources which you can make money from, like the email list, like product placements, like affiliate marketing, like all that stuff. And yeah, YouTube, usually you make 10 plus minute videos where this is a way higher trust value and leverage value than like some TikTok or Instagram Reels, where if people watch your like 5 to 10 minute long video, they trust you more, they are more willing to buy stuff and listen to you when you promote an affiliate product or some brand deals, for example. So yeah, whether you're doing a normal YouTube channel like I'm doing on this channel or a Faceless YouTube channel, the attention and the views and the distribution you get from having a YouTube channel is so massive and powerful. And even as an example, like I'm building a software for YouTube automation about live streaming. I can use my own channels to live stream. I can use that traffic to get clients for my software about live streaming. With this channel, I redirect people to my free school challenge. I redirect to build the leads and the emails. I redirect them to my software. I redirect them to my one-on-one coaching and my paid school community. There's so much ways you can monetize and use the audience, the views, and the attention that you build with a Faceless YouTube channel or a normal YouTube channel that it would almost be stupid to not have one in 2025 and forward. So yeah, YouTube is not easy. Faceless YouTube is not easy. But once you have something established and built over time, I think it's one of the best assets that you can own. So this was the reality about YouTube automation, guys. There is some negatives, there are some positives, but all in all, I think it's a very good idea for anyone to start a YouTube automation channel. So if you want to know a little bit more about how I start and scale YouTube automation channels using my 5M method, then click the link for the free 5-day challenge in the description of this video, or comment challenge in the comments and I will send you the invite link to my free challenge. This is a challenge which is a 5+ hour course in which I basically go from 0 to 100 of having and starting and scaling a YouTube automation business with AI tools, so you can start for cheap and by yourself. Now, if you have any more myths that you want me to break about YouTube automation, comment them in the description and I will comment it or make a new video about this. If you like this, like and subscribe. I'm going to make a lot more YouTube automation videos in the foreseeable future. And if you want to know which YouTube automation niches you should stay away from, then click the video end screen here, because I go over 5 niches that you should not get into as a beginner that will keep you broke basically. So click it and I hope to see you in the next one.